December 24th, 2023. KSI versus Jake Paul. Today versus KSI versus Jake Paul 3 years ago. The question came up on social media, on Twitter. Has Jake made more progress and had just simply more fights over the last 2 or 3 years with his boxing and had more sparring sessions, put more time in the gym? Obviously, for a few years there, a year plus there, KSI, after his victory against Logan Paul, had diverted and been, he was on the stage, he was doing a tour in terms of music. Has he, did that set him back? In other words, has Jake just simply made more progress as a boxer, or as a fighter, uh, from all angles, in all perspectives, in all capacities than KSI? KSI, does he have enough dance moves in his arsenal going against Jake today? 3 years ago, if he went against Jake, I think the odds may have favored him if it was fresh off of his victory against Logan. You know what I mean? And at this point, I'm going to give the edge and the odds to Jake in a matchup for those two competitors. And part of that is because of KSI's performance recently against Tommy Fury. Like I said, there was a lot of clinching in that boxing fight. Anyone who watched that would agree. And I think KSI had a couple moves, but I didn't feel like he had enough in his arsenal. And obviously, that may have just been a poor showing, but we've seen a lot from Jake at this point. And Jake looks, I think, Jake is just maybe, I don't know. It's obviously tough to predict those kind of things, but what do you guys think? Is 2 or 3 years with the amount of dedication and the money to secure, not just to have the time in the gym, but to secure good, trainers and good sparring partners, has Jake really made sufficient? And like I said, not just sufficient, but more progress than a guy like KSI, his arch rival, you know what I mean, and one of these other very prominent YouTube boxing competitors. And I think being out of competition 3 years or something like that, especially when you're young in that age bracket in the fight game, you know what I mean, or not, you're not being out of competition, but being into it in the degree that Jake has, and the positioning that he has with his finances again. I think he has made quite a bit of progress.